The NL East is streaking. The Marlins start their road trip with a win in Houston and now head to Philadelphia to try and keep it rolling. However, the Phillies, they've also been streaking. We're going to dig into this series, preview it all, what looks like a really juicy matchup with Dave Shaw, UK Phillies, of course, on today's Locked On Marlins.
You are Locked On Marlins, your daily podcast on the Miami Marlins, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Marlins. This is your daily Marlins podcast with me, Peter Pratt. And of course, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @MiamiMarlins_UK. Don't forget to subscribe to the pod. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's there for you. It's coming at you like Cleopatra daily. 5 episodes a week, Monday to Friday. So hit the subscribe button. Don't miss any of the action. And we are starting this week real hot, real hot. The Marlins are heading into the second city of a 3-city road trip. And Dave Shaw is joining me, the UK GOAT, some would say. Many would say. I would certainly say. Dave Shaw's in the house. How are we doing?
How are we doing, Pete? This is slick. How good is this? I feel like I've walked into a professional studio here, but fix up and look sharp like yourself.
There you go. And as we started, the sun started beaming through. I can't even see now. So. Dave, great to have you on, mate. I think this is your second appearance, or maybe
third.
Yeah,
we had what, one pre-season. So number 2.
Number 2. There you go. So welcome back. Now we have the production as well. So the YouTube channel's up.
Is good, man.
This is looking sweet, right? So listen, Dave, we need to dig into it, brother. Tell me about these Phillies. They have been streaking, baby. I know they didn't get the result they're looking for on UK-friendly Sunday. Surprise, surprise. More UK pain. But the Phillies have come alive, mate. What's been behind that? It's the offense, I assume, right?
Oh, mate, pitching. Don't ignore the pitching either. I know.
Just
take last night out of the equation. That was dire. But a newfound belief, mate. A newfound resurgence. You know, Giradi's gone. We got the win against the Giants the game before, but look at the difference is unbelievable. You know, he had his way of doing things. Thompson's already come out a few times, and the players slightly little digs. You know, Thompson's way of doing things is a lot different. They keep emphasizing different, and the players enjoy it. The players are enjoying his coaching style. It's more open. The lads are having fun. They're cracking out beers after wins against the Angels and the Giants. You know, and the Brewers as well. They are a newfound confidence. They have fought so hard and won in different ways to get back to 500. This win streak has been unreal, different sort of wins. And we've seen some good pitches on the way. You know, we blew up Burns. You know, we played him perfect. Got him out the game by the 4th inning. Deep into counts. Didn't get much off him, but got him deep into counts. Got him out. We've had a lot better plate discipline, a lot better game styles, game approaches. The pitching, okay, last night was a complete blow up. Before that, it was brilliant. The offense, it's been top 5 in every single offensive category going until last night. So it's just been unbelievable. The resurgence of June Schwarber, man, like
he's back.
His stats are unreal in June. Bryson Stott coming out of nowhere. Harper's still hot. And while others like, you know, Castellanos is struggling at the moment, we've had others to pick him up, you know, and we've had production from 1 to 9 from every single different player that's come up. And it's just, you know, the bank is full again. There's some energy there. Yeah. There's some belief there. The Phils are back, Pete. For now, the Phils are back.
They're sitting at 500. They're playing 500 ball. But listen, many would say the start of the resurgence for the Phillies was when a certain Dave Shaw got on a flight from London, headed over there. Giradi was canned, and then they started streaking. Anyway, mate, just try and summarize your experience there. 4 games you had there in Philly.
Wow. I remember, you know, on Twitter beforehand, I was tweeting, no, we got a season to save, and let's go, and I'm going to turn it round. Mate, I was expecting 1 win, 2 wins. For what happened to happen was just unreal. You know, the Giants win. I was at the Giants game when we won, and I was pumped. You know, yes, 1-1, here we go. And the people around me were sort of, it's a win. You know, we've stopped the rot. Hooray. And I was like, the vibe was flat. Giradi sacked on the Friday morning, sat in Starbucks with another Phillies fan. We were just talking. It flashed up on our phones, and we just sat there smiling. We didn't know what to say. And instantly, the mood with the fan base was electric. Twitter was alive. The granddad's gone. Old Sleepy Joe, he's out of here. The Phils are back. And, we've seen that on the field, there for BP. The guys looked happy. They looked relaxed. They were having a good time, even in BP, and that's something we had not seen before. Even Bryce was taking BP, usually sits it out. The guys in the dugout looks different. The vibe at the ballpark was different. The first Angels game, we rushed out to a 5-0 lead, never looked back. Second Angels game was tight. We came back. Sunday's game, Harper's grand slam to tie it up. My days, in your words, Pete, absolute scenes. The walk-off from Bryson Stott, the energy was just unreal. There was a real buzz, and the Phils have continued it on. Yeah, the sweeps are fun. Don't get me wrong, I love sweeping, but now we're at 500. We've just got to keep winning series. We've got to do what the Mets are doing and just winning series now, because our schedule, it's opened up beautifully. I am very nervous about tonight and this series, though.
No doubt. It's for historic reasons, though, right? Because,
you've been a fool on the side, mate.
Yeah,
the Marlins, we owe you guys. You've cost us playoffs so many years, so much open scars and wounds that you've cost us, and it's a mental thing, Pete. The Marlins go on the field knowing they're going to beat the Phillies. The Phillies go on the field knowing they're going to lose. It's a mental thing. It happens every time. The Marlins can play home or away against Philadelphia. They know they're going to win. And every time it comes through because of the mental attitude. The Phillies seem to have this mental block against the Marlins. It's got to change under Thompson. It's got to change. We've got to bounce back from last night. Now we're going to see who the Phillies really are. Have we just seen, was last week just a blip? A good blip, a high? Was it a one-off? Or is this feels legit? And this will be the big test for us. And tonight, Nola versus Sandy. What a box office matchup, by the way, Pete. Sandy's a stud, as you would say. He's one of the best in baseball. I'm a little surprised he didn't get pitcher of the month. Wheeler did. I was sort of expecting to go Sandy.
Me too.
Although Wheeler has been pitching out of his skin as well. But Nola versus, the way Nola's been going recently versus Sandy, this has got 2 no-hitters all over. Could have 2 no-hitters all over it. I don't know, but it's going to be I predict a low-scoring game. And I think the Phils will approach it like we did to Burns and to some of the D-backs pitchers and try and get deep into counts, try and get Sandy out of there as quick and early as possible to get to the bullpen. I think you'll be doing the same with Nola, so I'm not expecting much fireworks to start the game.
No, I like you said, this game one matchup, and let's dive into it. The kind of Sandy Nola is elite. I mean, it would have been better, I guess, if a Sandy Wheeler matchup. We're not going to see Wheeler this time around. Nevertheless, Nola's having a nice season for sure. Sandy's been, he's taken it to another level. He's been immense.
He's really all-star, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's got to be an all-star. Jazz is getting hot. I've seen some of your Astros games, and that offense is picking up. I remember you talking about the offense is dead. And what you guys had that meeting. You've been on this big streak. I was quite glad to see you lose last night, just to take a little bit of sting out of your momentum as well. So I'm nervous, mate. I always am against the Marlins. We seem to make these unknown pictures even when you have those. The back end of seasons when we're fighting for postseason, you bring up these pitchers out of nowhere and we make them like all-stars, and then we never see them again. Your offense, we got, I'm quite confident Nola tonight. Our lineup tonight, no Castellanos, no Bohm. Veerling's at third base, our usual center fielder. Played first time ever second base last week, now playing at third. It's a little bit patched up. We've got a few injuries hitting us. I know you're in the same boat. If we can win tonight, it's a massive statement for the Phils. This is the biggest game of the season for us. This is it. This is the big test. And it sounds stupid to people who don't get it, but you are our bogey team. You are the thorn in our side, like I was saying before. And Sandy's one of the best out there in the business. If we can get a win tonight, what a bounce back from last night. And it just shows, there's something about this Phils team. If we can beat up on you guys tonight. Yeah.
I think it's a really good point, from a Phil's perspective. If you guys can go and get game one against Sandy, I think that's a massive statement, not just because it's against Sandy. Like, you did the damage against Burns, had the plan and executed, but equally, it's Sandy who's pitching out of his mind for the Marlins, who are the Phillies bogey team.
Yeah.
So like that combined, it's I completely get you there. You won't be getting any kind of random pitches this series, though, for sure, because you've got Sandy, Trevor Rogers, Pablo. So the teeth of the rotation is there lined up. So the Phillies are going to be tested. I want to dig into some of the offensive pieces, though, really shortly, because it sounds like you're struggling. The Marlins equally have some issues. But before we do that, guys, reminder, this episode is brought to you by, this is my favorite one, Athletic Greens. Athletic Greens, they sent me a ton of stuff a few months back, and I've been using AG1 for around about 7 weeks now. What's AG1? It's simple. One delicious scoop. That's all you have to do. One scoop into water every day, every morning, and it's 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. Oh boy, it has got everything in there. What does it do? It helps you to start your day right. Special blend of ingredients support your gut health, nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Perfect for me. All of the things. So that's all you have to do. Add water, get all these vitamins, minerals, everything in there right now. It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. I may have said that already, but no need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1 year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/MLB Network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/MLB Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, Dave. So it sounds like some of you...
That's amazing.
You like that one?
That's amazing. You're on the wrong job, mate. You need to do this full time. Get yourself on national TV with some adverts. Come on.
There we go. Get the voiceovers rolling. To be fair, from what you said there, sounds like some of the Phillies offensive guys need some Athletic Greens as well. Like, they need to get back on the health kick. Just try and summarize for us what's happening. Where are the injuries kicking in? Who's going to be missing for this series? Because I think you've mentioned Bohm, Didi, Castellanos struggling. What's up now with Bryce as well? He's playing DH as well.
Well, but Bryce, thank God for the DH. Hallelujah for the DH, because we'd have no Bryce for weeks, months with his elbow. However, it's not affecting him. The offense has been generally fine. Like I said, offensively, we've been in the top 5 in every single offensive stat in the last week and a half while we've been on this run. Last night, the D-backs went out ahead early. We had some silly errors. They're back.
I did see one or two.
Yeah, the JT, the Suarez JT play was not
good.
Vintage Phillies defense. And Bohm made an error as well, and we should be at that inning, and we should have been at 0-0 going into the bottom of the first. Instead, it blew up. Too many walks, but that was the not the best end of our bullpen either. We did sort of put the white flag out quite early in that game, I think, with you guys in mind. The other, and generally, Schwarber's incredible, absolutely scorching the ball. Hoskins, streaky. Hoskins right now is hot again. When he's hot, he's one of the best players on the team. When he's cold, he's ice cold.
Yeah.
But Harper's Harper. He's still drilling the ball, still getting extra base hits, absolutely everywhere. Still in, the way he's going, he's still a big candidate for MVP again. Castellanos is really struggling, and so is JT.
Defensively for JT, or
defensively not too bad. Last night wasn't his finest hour, but defensively, actually, he's picking off runners again. Last year, that part of his game really dipped. I also think that players were running less on JT as well, but this year they're trying it more. He's gunning them down. Defensively, he's still standing behind a plate. Offensively, I think we'd all like to see a little bit more production from him. Garrett Stubbs, the backup catcher, is doing a great job while he's been filling in, and we've got some great prospects catcher-wise coming through. So
Stubbsy.
What a man! What a man Stubbsy is. Absolutely love him. In the bottom order, the daycare kids, as Thompson calls him. Bohm, he'd been on a slump, he's managed to pick himself back out of it. Stott's just been unreal. Since Giradi's gone, and now we're actually playing him and giving him a chance. He's got some of the best stats now out of all the rookies. Absolutely, his confidence is sky high. Mickey Moniak, he's still getting time. I don't know with Mickey. He's come back from an injury. He was on fire in spring. It's his
spring. I remember he had a Brinson-like spring. It was just on fire, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got injured on the game before the season started, and that was the end of Mickey until now. So he's been rushed up through the minors. Injuries haven't helped, and we still haven't really got an everyday centre fielder. We're still platooning with him, Herrera, Veerling, whoever else we can, Joe Bloggs, whoever else we can get in there in centre field. We're just trying to find, it's not helping with Harper's on the DH all the time. So that means Castellanos and Shaw were also playing everyday outfield, which ideally you wouldn't have if in an everyday healthy team. Sure, but we've probably got one of the worst defensively, one of the worst outfields going. But offensively, it's been fine. It's been fine. We've been hot. We cooled off a bit yesterday. I just hope that's okay. We'll take a step back and we're getting ready for this Marlins series and letting it all out on Sandy tonight.
There you go. What's Moniak defensively in center field? Is
Solid,
he okay?
mate. Yeah, solid. Does the job. We haven't seen him make an error yet. Arm hasn't really been tested yet. Not that I've seen. But it's just fine. Defense on the whole hasn't been a dumpster fire as everybody predicted. Yeah, we've had some horrible moments, but we're not alone in that. Every other team has an MLB. I don't think, Bohm has been much better. Last night was probably his first big error since the Mets game all that time ago. Mm-hmm. He's now fine. Make all we want. We know what the defense is. The defense. We know what it is. We just make the basic plays. Don't mess it up. And make bad decisions and overthink things, which is what they had been doing at the start of the season, and that's getting better. Didi's come back and flashed a bit of lever in the infield as well. It is a big flaw along with the bullpen, but we'll see what happens at trade deadline.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually where your head's at, where the Phillies fan base is at, approaching the deadline. If you guys hover around 500, let's say you play just 500 ball now until the deadline and you sit pretty much at, well, you will be at 500 because that's where you're at right now. Yeah. I think, where would you address? Where are you looking to upgrade?
Oh, it's got bullpen, and I don't know why we're waiting for trade deadline. Why can't
get it done now?
Make the moves. Make the moves now. Why are we waiting for? I get why we're waiting, but we need arms now. We are really struggling for bullpen.
I saw Knable's day-to-day with a shoulder injury or an arm injury, right?
I think this is maybe something to give him a bit of time off as well, because he's had a horrible few weeks actually. Start of the season looked absolutely solid. You think, oh well, we've got a legit closer here. Finally, the one position we've been really searching for, and we had it with Knable. And it's not gone his way. I think a lot of the fans now would love to see Sir Anthony Dominguez as closer. It just makes so much sense now. Dominguez, to be a closer is one of the toughest, if not one of the toughest spots in the sport. Mentally, if you haven't got it mentally, you're already losing half the battle. And Knable's confidence has been hit massive. You can see it. His confidence isn't quite there, and he keeps wanting to go back out there, keeps wanting to try him, but he's just given up too much. We've been lucky. We've had some nice leads, and the offense has picked us back up to help Knable keep that save. But Sir Anthony, it's got to be borderline his time. Brogdon's getting good. He's started slow, terrible spring. We thought, Connor maybe not finding where he was last year. He's getting there. Nick Nelson has been putting in some good performances. Brad Hand, I'm waiting for the Brad Hand implosion. What is going on? He's rolling back the years. Seems to do a lot better when he comes in with not high leverage, but no one on base and a clean slate. Brad Hand's done really well. Familia's is get him out. Alvarado, I'm not happy with him either. But these need addressing. Norwood thankfully got DFA today. It was only a matter of time. We need arms. We need arms. Possibly, I heard talk of putting Suarez back in the bullpen and trying to go another starter, as well as some other bullpen arms as well. Because Suarez is struggling. Nola, Wheeler. I think we've got two aces now. The way they're going, Wheeler's now caught back on to where he was last year. Nola's finally caught back on to where he was in 2018, 2019. Cy Young, Nola's back. Well, at the moment, anyway, he's been solid again, like the Nola we saw in 2018, and the pitcher now, he's becoming the pitcher now that we hoped he would be. Long may it continue, because we need it. Gibby's probably one of the best fifth starters out there. Gives you what you need out of fifth starter. Eflin, a bit inconsistent, but when he's on it, he's on it. And I think we'll get a good Eflin at home. Eflin's a much better pitcher than on the road. And Suarez, it's just been nothing of the play we saw. Possibly carrying an injury, I'm not too sure, but it's It's a real shame that he's not even got near to where he was last year because his command's all over the place now. The walks are through the roof to what they were last year.
It didn't feel totally like Suarez was on like on a Cy Young pace for the second half. It was like, it was insane. It was DeGrom level. It was better than DeGrom.
It was. And, even at the time we knew that we're not going to get this next year. This is pitchers are going to work, batters are going to work him out. But
yeah,
one thing he had last year was his command. It was unreal.
Mm-hmm.
He would pound the strike zone. He's only got two pitches. It's incredible, but no one could work him out. Now he's getting worked out. Now he's trying different things. His command is slipping. He's getting behind in counts. He's walking batters. And again, it's that confidence. It's that mental thing. I saw him when he was out. He got out the game after the fifth inning. Hand over his shoulder, over the dugout. Just looked like a bit of a beaten guy. So it's affecting him mentally, confidence, and we need him to figure it out because he's a big part of the rotation if he can.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that. We'll get into game 2 and 3 matchups as well, and kind of throw a prediction or two out there, perhaps, maybe just to tease it out for you. I want you to think about who's going to be the offensive player of the series for the Phils. But before we do that, reminder, this episode, it's also brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline.net, it's your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, news, odds, including this year's basketball championship matchup, the NHL Hockey Conference Finals, Major League Baseball, and of course, the latest fighting news from MMA, UFC to boxing. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and more. Head to the website today. Use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Dave, we know where this series is starting. It's starting with Sandy Alcantara going for the Marlins. Trevor Rogers going in game 2. And that is up against Zach Eflin. And then game 3, we have Pablo Lopez taking on... Who we got Pablo taking on? We've got Gibson, right? Gibby rolls in game 3. So it's strength on strength there, I'd say, with the matchups.
Yeah, it really is.
What about... I think from a Marlins perspective, you got Sandy, Trevor, Pablo. Interested to see what kind of Trevor you get. Pablo as well is listed as a starter for Wednesday. He did take a really hard comebacker and came out of the game and exited the game against the Astros. Had a cast or a bandage on his wrist. So he is listed as a starter. It'd be interesting to see if he does actually make it. And if not, maybe a short IL stint will be required. There's a few other decisions the Marlins need to make too. Avisel Garcia, dealing with a hand issue, scratched very late from yesterday's game. Cooper Loop is on the COVID IL, so we'll see if Coop back. By all accounts, the Marlins' best hitter for some time. So you've got
Stop
some
getting my hopes
marks.
up, Pete. Don't do
I know.
Don't do it to me, man.
Exactly. But Dave, if we're going to look at a Phillies point of view, let's say the 3 big guns go for the Marlins, who are you looking towards to kind of carry this offense if indeed it's going to happen? Bryce all the way, right?
Bryce carries it. He did it a couple of times last week when we were struggling. Bryce got the spark going. I think we could be looking at him again, especially with the bottom lineup looking a little bit, we'll see. Feelings actually getting hot again. But Bryce is the spark. He's an MVP for a reason. He carries his team at times when they're struggling, gets the spark going. We'll be looking at him again. He knows, how much pain the Marlins have caused. Hopefully Reese stays hot. If Reese stays hot, and if he does, right, June Schwarber, Hoskins, Bryce at the top 3, that is quite a devastating front 3. Schwarber, as we all know, is feast or famine. He's either swinging for the fences and getting extra base, or he's striking out. The whole series for me comes down heavily to this game 1 because if we lose, and depending on the fashion, the fan base will be going, here we go again. That will get them down. The players will be going, here we go again. And the Marlins will be going, here we go again.
Here we go again.
we're gonna beat the Phillies again, and it's likely to happen. If the Phillies can take game 1, it's just massive for us. Massive for us, because then the fan base will be, okay, here we go. We've just beaten Sandy. We've just beaten the Marlins. At last, we've bounced back from last night. Momentum starts again. The fan base will be in. The players will have a newfound belief that, hang on, Thompson's in. We've beaten the Marlins. What's going to stop us? And especially as Wednesday could be an interesting pitching matchup because all we want is a series win. From now, like I said earlier, just series wins from now on, and keep the momentum going. Losing tonight, it would then be tough to win back-to-back games against you guys because it's the Phils and the Marlins, and we never do. So this game one is absolutely crucial for the series, and I think the series will be decided on who takes tonight's game.
Topic for both Marlins and Phillies fans tuning in right now is the fact that the Braves have also been streaking. The Mets continue to. They've had a few wobbles, but listen, those guys they are stretching the lead a little bit now. Collectively, both of us are thinking the same. Where this series needs to, it needs to happen. We're both looking for series wins. It's crucial to our year because if we're getting towards the end of June, if you're below 500 end of June, you could probably write it off this year. I think.
Yeah, and that's what I saw against when you played the Marlins. You could see that when you played the Astros, you could see that the Marlins were right. It's now or never for you guys because if you fall too far behind, which is what was happening to you guys, you're out of it. And then what happens at the trade deadline for you guys? So I feel the Marlins are now on a big push to try and salvage something this season because if you win this series on top of winning the Astros for you guys, it's huge. It puts you back in play for a wild card spot. You 5.5 games out, 6 out. That's nothing at this stage of the season. So, and it might give your team a newfound momentum as well, which is why, again, I'm so wary of play. I really wish we had the Nationals next and then you guys, because we haven't faced them at all until after you guys. Which is, it's why I'm wary of the Marlins. The Marlins are now going out there as well and showing they've got something to prove and trying to salvage a season. Because if you beat us, you're right behind us. And the Braves... to win 9 straight and then not gain one game, in fact, lose a game on the Braves. Are you kidding me?
Crazy.
Come on. Seriously. And all of a sudden now the East is turning into a dangerous division like we actually predicted at the start of the season, including yourselves, as the Astros just found out. And if you keep your streak going, if you keep your hot run going, and at least all of a sudden it's becoming a bit of a 3-4-headed beast, no easy wins. The Mets are now going into a tough schedule at last because their first 2 months is like what we're going through now. It was open. It was relatively easier on paper, and they managed to do the job. Now they're heading into a tough series. The Braves are 5.5 behind. Hello. It's all of a sudden a bit of pressure on the old Mets boys in New York. And, I'd love to see them crumble, even if it's I can't stand the Braves. Oh, boy, but I would love to see the Mets crumble and lose it. And settle for a wild card of ourselves. That would be joyous.
Would it be a new low for the Mets if they, I don't know, they're about 20 games up, so.
Yeah, exactly. 5.5, we're 8 behind. I'm not looking at the Mets personally as a Phil's perspective. Let them have it and let them crash in the postseason. I just want that wild card spot for me personally. Just get in by, by any means, just get in.
Anyway, there is one extra spot this year, but there's, I would say, a good amount of teams fighting for that spot. I wouldn't say it was, there's a decent number
Brewers,
of teams.
The Padres, I think, are going to take a spot. The Padres and Dodgers just seem to be taking each other up in the West. The Giants are becoming a team that I thought they were going to be at the start of the season. I know they started well, but they're starting to come back, and I don't think the Giants are going to be there. I think especially the hot the Padres and the Dodgers get, I think they're going to drop. Although saying that, they've just taken 2 out of the Dodgers, so who knows? It's so hard to predict. But the Brewers, they're on a bad run, aren't they? As well, they've just beat the Nationals, but it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight, and if you're in contention going into September, it's going to be fun.
It really is. You kind of look at things now and you think Brewers, Phils, Marlins, Diamondbacks, even to a degree, but perhaps not them. But those 4: Braves, Brewers, Phillies, Marlins, I think are all legitimately in the hunt for the wild card 3 spot. Yeah, I really believe that.
Yeah, and
Marlins clearly are further away than most, but.
And I think then there's a big gulf to everybody else. I'm really surprised how big, in the same in the AL as well, how bigger than ever I can ever remember the gulf between the good teams and the bad teams are. Like the AL is completely split into half at the moment. You've got the big guns up there, AL East. I think you've got 5, 6 6, 7 teams above 500, and the rest are all below 500 in the AL. It's something crazy like that. If you look at the wildcard standings, especially, and it's
you got six above 500, and the rest
in the AL. Yeah,
seven. Sorry,
7. Okay. Now you're making me sound. You just
no, you were right. You were right.
Left it at 5, mate. But yeah, it's but the bad teams seem to be getting worse, and the good teams are getting better. And I think there's a little bit of a divide coming in both divisions at the moment, which is quite interesting to watch, because I wonder how MLB are going to take to that. But that's a different subject and topic altogether.
I think what we're seeing in general here is if you're in and around 500, if you're playing 500 ball into July, you're in the mix. And, and then it's like, how do you add to get into August? Yeah. And I think that's going to be the question for Marlins fans, Phillies fans, Brewers fans.
Yeah, that trade deadline is going to be wild, isn't it? It's going to be wild. Like, I think the Phils, who have already now gone over luxury tax, I think we're over. If we're contending, we might as well just keep going. Like, what's to lose? We've got a lot of players coming off the books next year. We've got a bit of money freeing up. We can afford to keep going up. So if you're the Phils, and especially the fans, will be frustrated, like, go over the luxury tax finally after years of waiting in pre-season and then just not doing anything at trade deadline doesn't make sense. So I think the Phils will be poised to spend the money. But what the Mets do is going to be quite scary, I think.
Well, I'm with you. I'm intrigued to see what the Mets do for sure, knowing right now that they're having this rotation issue. They have been dealing with the rotation issue for some weeks. Wouldn't shock me if they go and make a big move to add another starter into their rotation to give them the depth and the health they're going to need as they push the postseason. So I'm really intrigued on that one. Dave, we're well out of time. 5 minutes for you, so we'll wrap it up there. The show right now, and some are still listening on the pod. Most are still listening on the pod. Where can everyone get you on Twitter, brother? Because those on YouTube, they have the graphics to work from. But anyone else, where can they find you on Twitter?
Yep, Pete, it's been an absolute pleasure to come on, buddy. You can find me at UK Phillies, pretty much all across your social medias, Insta, Facebook, Twitter. We're there.
Absolutely, for sure. Dave Shaw at UK Phillies, one of the absolute goats of UK baseball, no doubt. Come on now. So,
yeah, guys, from you, that means a lot, buddy, because you are, for me, for you, you're the goat. You're the man. You're Pete Brack. You're the stud. So it's been a pleasure to have me on, mate.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Locked on Marlins Monday episode is in the books. We're going to be back. Well, when do you think? Tomorrow, of course. It's a daily podcast, so we're back tomorrow. And I have a guest queued up, but tease it now. I'll tease it in the morning to let you know who's joining me. But there will be a guest on the show tomorrow, a Marlins fan, and it could be a spicy conversation. So stay tuned for that one, guys. In the meantime, sit back, relax, enjoy this pre-game in advance of Game 1 on the road in Philadelphia. Thanks again to Dave Shaw, UK Phillies, and I'll be back tomorrow.